You just woke up. It's a Wednesday morning. It's a beautiful, early Wednesday morning. You did reveille, and you're about to head to breakfast, and it's like 6 in the morning. What do? Well, you walk over to the dining facility, and you eat, right? Not that simple. Here is a map of what basic training looks like. Here, these 4 squadrons, that's Disneyland. You see this and those 2? That's Alcatraz. You don't want those. If you're in these big giant buildings, congratulations, you're in Disneyland. So, I was in the 334st Training Squadron, also known as the Wolf Pack. Lead the way. These are the squadron buildings, and they're these ginormous, massive buildings. So if you saw that Airman's Run video and you saw these buildings that were like 500 feet tall, not really. That's Disneyland, and this right here is a big concrete area. It's a huge concrete area. It's called the drill pad. It's where you learn how to do drill. And you see right here, it's like a rubber track. That's the PT pad. So we lived in right here. That's the wolf's den right there. What we did is we would march from here to there, which is the south side. There are 3 entrances to the dining facility. There's the east side, which is what this side would get into. And then there's that's the west side. There's the east side that we would enter. And then there's the south side, which is an alternate way to get in the dining facility, which is what both sides would enter on. So we would eat at this dining facility, and these 2 would eat at that dining facility. We would go and march, and later on you'll do flanks, but that's a side note. So you would march, you go outside, you're right outside the dining facility, and it's a covered area. And there are sinks and stuff here. You know what? It's time to switch it. So you're underneath a dining facility. And this is what it looks like. This is a general look of... this is generally what a dining facility will look like. So you're underneath the atrium. This is where the whole flight would... Here, can you see it? This is where we would all be located. So this is a whole element right here. So there's 4 elements in one flight. So there's sinks right here. These are the double doors. There's more sinks right here. So this side, I remember, just because we ate on this side. Remember when I said with the dining facility, on the south side, we ate on the south side. Side note, both sides eat. So this is only like 1/4 of the whole entire dining facility. So what we do is we stop. Chow runners are already in place by the snake pit. We would wait, and we would wash our hands before every meal, and we would stand by. So if you're a fire monitor, you're right here. If you're by the column, these are the details. So how it went in order for us is we would go underneath the atrium, we would halt, element leaders post, and then we would wash our hands from 4th element down to 1st element. So after we were done washing our hands, we would wait for the chow runners. Usually, if we time it right, we wouldn't have to wait too long. We would wait for the chow runners. Chow runners would come out. So when there's chow runners, there's always 2, because remember, wingman policy. So I made a video earlier about the chow runners. Chow runners would see us, and they'd say, they would command our flight. So chow runners would go, flight, whatever your flight is, flight 293, tench hut, everyone's tench hut. Flight 293, prepare to enter the dining facility from the south side. All key personnel, fire monitor, chow runner, water monitor, people who are super skinny, all key personnel, fall out, fall in, followed by the 4th element. And we would give our chow chant. Usually at first it's, proceeding, sir. So, If you're a key personnel, which means that you're fire monitor, or if you're water monitor, or if you're super skinny, which means you're on the low BMI, or if you somehow manage to smooze your way, and if you're a latrine chief, you got to eat breakfast first because you had to clean the latrines, or you had to get all the supplies set up. Go in front of whatever element they called, and then so let's say we go in front of the fourth element. Everyone would go in front of the fourth element leader. So fourth element would say, fourth element forward heart, and then just the same. Fire monitors, what you do is you gotta rush through that door. You gotta open that door, and you have to hold that door with whatever foot is on that door, and you have to be at parade rest. It's not in the book, but it just looks better rather than just standing there all awkward. So you hold the door open to the hold it all the way open to have enough space. Once you learn to do flanks, you'll march and you'll do a flank and you'll go inside. I'm not done with inside yet. I'm still outside. So it'd be, let's say, 4, 3, 2, 1. When there's enough space here, fire monitor, this one right here, because as you see, if you're right here, you can see. So that fire monitor would say, if there's enough space for the third element, say, third element, prepare to enter the dining facility, and that's all you would say. And then third element leader would say, third element, tench hut, forward march, and then they would go. If there is not enough space, and let's say this is full because there's another flight that's already waiting for food, you would close the door because remember, conservation of utilities, you don't, and let's say if it's really hot outside and it's AC inside, you don't want to waste the AC by having to drag outside. So let's say you march and you're already inside, so you're inside the door, and what you do is you make a right. This is called the foyer. So you go right, and then you would march and get in line 3 across, and you. This is so hard. So we're right here. We march. We go in, go through here, and we're right here. So you are generally at the position of attention, kind of, sort of. You take step this way, and then there's a lunch lady right here. So you go up and you say, oh, how you doing? And all that general stuff. What you do is you write down your name on a roster sheet, so they make sure that you ate. So that way, if there's enough room, which usually there is, after everyone's done signing, the person closest to the wall, this person right here, would say trainees post. Everyone does a left face to face this way, and you take the appropriate amount of steps to have enough space, flank, and you line up perfectly along here. So if you're entering the south side of the dining facility of the Wolfpack side, which is very specific because I found that you take 3 steps and you do a right flank, and then you take 5 steps and you do another right flank, and it matches you perfectly. So after you're done and you're walking this way, this area has to be kept cleared because this is like a hallway for this part. You keep walking and you stop. You're at the position of attention for realsies. So that means you can't move, you can't scratch your head, you can't pick your nose, you can't look around to see who's getting yelled at. You are at the position of attention, you leave space. When you're here, don't look left and right, just keep looking forward, because no one's going to break this threshold right here. Because this is a whole completely different squadron. This is us. No one's going to be crossing that line unless it's needed, and it's never needed. But you still leave the space. So that star right here, I'll talk about that later. You're right here, and you keep going. There's a dorm chief right here. This is the end of the eating area. There's a dorm chief. If there's people waiting to eat, dorm chief's going to ask you a question like, who is the first female Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force, which is Chief Master Sergeant Grace Peterson. Fun fact. And ask you some other question like, what is one of the core values? Integrity first. Boom. Just to slide time and get you to study. So, what the dorm chief will do, if there's enough space, dorm chief will say, trainees post, and you take appropriate amount of steps, flank. If you don't know how to flank, you just do facing movements. So I found it was about 3 steps. It's a little awkward because it's really 2 steps, but yeah, I kind of have to take a bit of a half step. So you take 3 steps, flank, position of attention. This right here is a wall. So you take, keep making steps. Oh. While you're here and while you're here, it's heel to toe. For the fellas, probably shouldn't say this, but what we made up with is called nut to butt. That's how you're supposed to be. Heel to toe, nut to butt. I didn't say that. Don't. So you would keep going, and once you get to the trays is when you do a left face and you face the trays. Don't do it here because then that's just really awkward and you're just facing a wall and you're just... No. You face the trays, and this is what a tray looks like. Looks like this. It's flat, and it's got like, it goes up, and then it's like diagonal right here, and then it's parallel right there. I'll show you that again later. When you're going this way, what you need to do is it's like your position of attention. Your hands are inside the tray. It needs to be tray to tray, shoulder to shoulder. No room, because again, you're wasting space. Conservation of utilities. So you grab your tray, you grab your fork, spoon, knife. Always, always, always grab a fork, spoon, knife. Even if you're not getting soup, even if you're not getting anything. Always grab a fork, spoon, knife, because the last thing you want to do is go all the way back around. And that just wastes your food time. So you get your tray, and you wait, and you look at the main entree. Here, I didn't mention this, but here there should be a TV, and it should display the menu for the day. So the main entree, and it'll also have like a little like sign. It'll have a little sign. So there, you'll have your main entree here, which would be like your chicken or your fish, spaghetti. Some days it's usually always chicken. That's dry. That's the thing about basic training. The chicken's super dry. Or like whatever they have. And then here is your secondary dish, which is where you get your rice, your green beans, corn, mixed vegetables, that sort of stuff. So you get your 2 entrees. So here is another area. So for breakfast, per se, there right here would be like fruit and yogurt, like it's Yoplait packs, like single packs yogurt. So this is where your bread and peanut butter will be. I put a star there. If you want to be successful at basic training, you want to eat peanut butter. Peanut butter is a natural fat, and it's peanut butter. It will stick to your stomach, and it'll keep you energized throughout the day. When I was at basic training, they gave us Skippy, and it was it was just straight up peanut butter. It was no nothing here. It was like no preservatives or fake crap. It was just 100% peanut butter. And bread. Oh boy. Don't get white bread. Do not get white bread. Always go with that whole wheat bread, says Staff Sergeant, my male MTI. And you keep going. That's where your bread is. And then this is all awkward here to make steps. That's where your soup would be. There's no soup in the morning, but there would be bananas around that place. And you keep going, salad bar. Again, there's more fruit. So there would be like grapes or pineapple, cantaloupe, melon, that sort of stuff. And then there would be bowls of fruit on top, which is there's like apples and pears and more bananas. You keep going. What's up, man?
Hello. Hey, what's up?
Oh, there's a third person. We're having a party in here. I'm making a video right now of how to do dining facility procedures.
Oh, DMT?
Yeah.
Alright, wow.
So here you would get your water, and you always get 2 cups of water. Keep going, this is where your victory juice is, and your milk. Do you guys have anything to say?
Just keep your head down. Yeah.
Keep your head down. That's actually a really good thing. And then you keep going, that's where your condiments would be. That's where you get your packets of salsa, honey, sugar, whatever. This last place is your coffee. That's very important. You can get coffee at basic training. You just got to be really fast about it because there's just as well people coming through. So if you're fast, you can get coffee. We're going to continue this later.